Hello everybody, I hope you're really well. I'm just dropping in to do the readings for the pick of the week card. So I've already pulled 3 cards. You'd have seen pictures of them earlier today. So going to go straight into it this time. So we've got the first card. So this one is all about balance. So if you pick card 1, what you need to kind of look at in your life and what's potentially going to be going on around you is a lot of things that are either going to sort of send you spiraling, or you are going to sort of have a bit of a crisis over it. But what this card's actually coming in to do, it's yin and yang energy, it's just asking you to kind of try and take a balanced approach. So yin and yang is made up of masculine and feminine energy, and when you slot the two together, they kind of balance each other out. So that's kind of what card 1 is saying to you this week. You need to start looking at a little bit of balance and perhaps kind of take stock of what's going on in your life and kind of weigh it up. So I know I've spoken to you guys about this before, but everything happens to us for a reason. And whilst at the time it doesn't feel like that, and you want to know why you've been picked on, why the universe is sending you all of this, and I totally understand that, and that's genuinely how you should feel. But actually, if you can bring a bit of balance into your life, so if you've been really busy, you're really hectic and you're running around all over the place and you're burning yourself out, why? Time to bring in that balance, time to sit back and go, okay, I've spent the last 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 days, 4 weeks, months doing something all the time. So stop, take a bit of time, have a bit of a relax, and just bring in that balance so that you're not burning the candle at both ends. You have that time when you are really busy, but you also have that time to rest and recuperate, because that is really important. So if you pick card 1 this week, be aware of there's going to be some situations around you that you just need to bring in a bit of balance, and you need to kind of bring in that sort of masculine and feminine energy, that sort of thing that's just going to bring you to center and allow you to kind of live your life in a much more sort of relaxed and whole way. I think that's probably the best way I can put it, which doesn't really sound very self-explanatory, to be honest, but it's that sort of, if you are polar opposites all the time, if you have that tendency to swing, if you can bring yourself into center, it does make you a lot happier, it makes your life a lot clearer. So card 1, all about balancing your energies and bringing in balance to the situations around you. So hopefully that helps. Now, moving on to card number 2. Really interesting, this one, because this appeared on Monday. So this is all about indecision and different pathways. So if you pick card 2, there's potentially going to be a big decision that you're going to have to make, and there's potentially going to be options of pathways. So there's, as I said on Monday, there's no necessarily right or wrong if you are following your gut instinct. But going back to the yin and yang card, this is potentially going to pull you into a situation where you might just feel a little bit overwhelmed, but just kind of bring it back. And if you do feel that, just remember that yin and yang card and bring in a little bit of balance. But the thing with decision and not knowing what you're going to do is you just need to sit down and trust your gut. And again, I know I say that like it's really easy, because it is really hard, and we get bombarded by so much external information. But actually, trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust your intuition, because it doesn't often do you wrong. And if you do get to a point where you've trusted it and you've got down the path and you've gone, what on earth did I do? There'll be a reason, and it will be a lesson that you need to learn. I'm big on life lessons, and I'm big on people living their own life path. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean that they're living their life wrong. It's just their life path. So this is what this card is kind of coming in to say, is actually you will make a decision, you will go down a pathway, and if you get halfway down and realize it's not the right path for you, there's a reason you've been sent down that. You've either got something to learn, and it might even be something as simple as, this is the environment you wanted to be in. This could be something that you're like, this is going to make me so much money, this is going to make everything better, and actually you get so far down and you realize that, yeah, it's bringing in the money, but potentially it's not bringing you in the happiness. So that's the lesson, is actually that potentially money doesn't always buy you happiness. So actually it's that sort of pathway lessons we're going to make. But for when you kind of come across those 2 pathways, to sit and trust your gut and see where you want to go. Like I said, it's very hard to start trusting your instincts and your intuition, but when you do, it does actually free up quite a lot, and you suddenly put a lot more trust in what you feel. So if you pick card number 2, it's all about that indecision. It's all about making that choice between multiple pathways, but actually just trust your instincts and go with what feels right to you at the time is my best advice. Again, it has come up a couple of times this week, so it's obviously got a message for someone. So if you did pick card number 2, do go back and listen to Monday, because I do a little bit more in detail about sort of that indecision, that pathway, and kind of learning your life lessons from it. I will do a bit of a bigger thing on life lessons, because they are actually quite important, and it's quite often what we're here to kind of work our way through. But moving on to the final card, which is card number 3. These sound like doozies when I pull them up. So this is all about financial constraint and financial and money. So what you're going to go through, or you're potentially already going through, is that concept that you do not have enough money. And as much as we all don't want to live in a society where everything is about money, sadly it is. If you don't have enough, you struggle to potentially put food on your table, you struggle to pay bills, you struggle to pay your mortgage, your rent. All of those things kind of spiral if you feel like you don't have enough money. But I think one of the things that kind of is quite emblematic in this card is that the door is open. So this might be a potential to look at your spending, see if there's any places that you can potentially cut back on what you are doing. But I think the other thing to remember, just looking at like the other cards that have come up today, is that actually whilst you might be going through what feels like a period of financial restraint, and you might feel that you don't have the money to do the things you want, I have done a little bit of a talk on the law of attraction and putting out what you want. There is also another law, there's many, I will go through them all, which is called the law of abundance. So the idea of the law of abundance is that you can really manifest what you want. So I will do some information on manifestation because it's not quite how it's taught on TikTok. But the idea is that if you really need it, ask the universe, ask your loved ones in spirit, ask whoever you want to, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in multiple gods, whether you just want to talk to your ancestors, anything like that. Literally say to them, this is what I am going through. I need the money to pay my bills. This is what I need. I'm just going to ask you for it. Don't keep asking. Make whatever you're asking for clear, concise, and to the point. Do not leave it vague. Don't just go, I want to win the lottery, because great, you're going to win the lottery. It's probably going to be £2.90 or a lucky dip. But technically you have won the lottery. So a lot of the key with this will be telling exactly what you want. Not necessarily, vague. Keep it very concise. So if you are, experiencing some financial constraints, don't bring yourself down. There's lots of things that you can do. There's lots of resources out there. Banks are really good at helping if you've got some sort of money worries, not necessarily about taking out loans or credit cards or anything like that, but they can sit and help you. Similarly, there are loads of charities, Citizens Advice, things like that do a lot of good resources for people if you're going through a little bit of a struggling point. But I think the key to this is don't panic. It will get better. There's several things in there. There is still money. There is still money sat within this. There is that sort of book. So books for me, when they come up in readings or if I see them, they're all to do with knowledge and learning. So again, I've talked about life learning. This could potentially be one of those life lessons. It could just be that you need to go through this to realise the value of something, or potentially even to not put yourself in this situation before. We all do it, and I defy anyone who says they don't. We all overspend. It's just part of life today because we live in very much in a consumer society. So never feel guilt, never feel that you've let yourself down, never feel any of those things that make you feel bad about yourself. But like I said, I'll do a little bit on manifestation and a little bit about the law of abundance and how you can ask the universe for those things that you need. And it does work. Believe me, I know, I've done it, I've experienced it. But if you have any questions, do reach out. Like I said, there's loads of resources, but this financial constraint will not last forever. I promise you that. It will just be a sort of a passing thing. So whether you are applying for a new job, whether you are looking for ways to get yourself out of it, just keep really positive, put those positive thoughts out into the universe. We're coming up to a full moon. So I'm going to do a lot of videos. I keep saying this. I might even do a couple of lives. So we've got coming up on the 8th of the 8th, the Moongate portal. So that's a really, really powerful time to manifest. So I will do a little bit about manifestation, a little bit about things you can do. You can do them monthly, you can do them on the full moon, you can do them on things like the Lion's Gate that you can kind of do to put your manifest your desires out into the universe. So I will try and record one of those a little bit later, and I will speak to you all really soon. So hopefully that's been helpful. So like I said, this week is all depending on which card you've bought. Card 1's all about bringing in balance. Card 2, looking at those paths, looking at those decisions and kind of working out how to trust your gut. And card 3 was a little bit about potential financial constraints you've got going in your life, and that there are ways that you can kind of get out of it. So hopefully that's been helpful. It's a bit of a longer video today, but I just wanted to kind of get those messages across to you really, really well. But I hope you're coping with the heat if you've got it. And, you know, we've had some torrential rain this morning already, so hopefully it's going to kind of break it a little bit. So have a fantastic rest of the week, and I'll speak to you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.